time they got left, D?
They got about 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Think they ready?
Someone would find out, man.
The element of fire is your passion. What you feel is your mission in life. What you feel you need to do, what you're called to do, the things that drive you, what gets you excited. It's like being in love for the first time. Passion is organic. You can't manufacture it. So because of that, anything you do from that energy and from that space is going to happen naturally. It's going to happen organically. It's going to have verve and vigor, and it's going to get you excited every time you think about it, every time you talk about it, every time you share it. Passion. So I want you to pause for a moment and think about, what are you passionate about? I know personally, I'm passionate about 1920s gangsters. I get excited. I just light up whenever I think about talking about them or researching them or doing homework about them. I also am passionate about people's health and soft skills and making sure that people live the best life they can, because I come from a very honest place of knowing what that dark space feels like and knowing how to come out of it and helping other people to get out of it. So that's my passion. When I think about people that are walking around and they don't know the answers, or they don't know which direction to turn or what the next thing to do is, and really all they'd like to do is curl up in a little ball and stay there forever. I understand that. I know what that feels like. It is a constant daily struggle to move past the fear and the anxiety and the doubt and the voices you hear in your head. It's hard to move past those, but my passion is to help people move through that, because like I said, I know what that feels like and I've done it. So, and I continue to do it every single day. It is work and effort every single day, and I want to be there for people. So when you find your passion, and it doesn't have to be external. I know selfishness gets a bad rap, but there are plenty of things that we do for ourselves that are kind of selfish, because let's think about what that word actually means. Selfish. Okay, well, that means you're thinking of self. Okay, well, you have to think of yourself first, because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of others. So there's truly nothing bad about being a little selfish. Where being selfish is a problem is when you're only selfish, when you're never selfless, when you never give of your time, when you never give of your spirit, you never give of your voice, when you never help another person, when you're not courteous or considerate. That's when selfish is a bad thing. But there's nothing wrong with being a little selfish, doing things just for you. So in finding that passion, look for those areas that get you excited. And here's the key, and I say this repeatedly: no judgment. So what if it's frivolous? So what if someone else says, oh, that's silly, that's stupid? Or so what if it's for kids? Maybe you love cartoons, so maybe you want to draw more, or you want to go and learn the history of different cartoons and different cartoon series or what have you. Maybe that gets you excited. So what? Do it. Do what gets you passionate, because here's how that serves you. When you find that one thing that you have a passion for, it spirals into other things that you have a passion for. And then you find something else that you have a passion for. And maybe that journey might not start with helping others. Maybe that journey, those first couple of passionate things that you find, are truly just about you. That's okay. You know why? Because you're exploring you. You're opening yourself up. And once you start opening yourself up and you can identify what those areas are, what those passions are, then and only then can you give them to other people? Maybe you're already at a place where your passions start to reach out to others. Maybe so, maybe not though. And that's okay. Start from where you are. Look for that excitement, that joy, that natural smile on your face, because that's where your passion lies. And don't put it on a thing or a person. As a parent, it's easy to say, I'm passionate about my children. Okay, well, you love your children. You want the best for your children. You want your children to grow and learn and be. But what are your personal passions? And maybe one of your passions is to grow healthy children. Okay, but let them be the example and help other people with that. But find that passion that's external, that serves you as the individual, and then you as the individual can serve the people around you. Go out and find your passion. Once you have, don't let anyone give it merit or justify it or tear it down, because it's yours and you deserve it. Now, I have to add this little note because my brain is working. This is how my brain works. My brain is saying, make sure that people know it should be, legal. So I just want to throw that out there, just in case you're thinking, hey, my passion is fill in the blank. Well, let's keep it on the positive side of legal, but let's keep it a positive thing. Make sure that you are giving to this world and your passions are finding their way in this world, because as human beings, we're here to serve other human beings as well as ourselves. And as we grow as individuals, it can only serve to make a better place. And I know that's always been one of my passions, is to leave this earth better than the way I found it. And I hope that the words that I share, the stories that I share, the experiences that I've had go on to help other people to do better, to find their passions, to live that life that gives them joy and happiness. And as I've said in the past, you're not going to be bouncing off the walls, happy, joy, joy all the time. But happiness is in here. It's in your heart. It's in your spirit. It's inside. So look for that place. If in the midst of the muck, you can still tap into the joy, you can still muster a smile, you can still find a kind word, then you know that joy is in there. It's solid within you. So hold on to that, because there will be trying times, as they say, you can't get rainbows without a little rain, and that's one of my favorites. There will be rain, but when it's cloudy and when it's raining, remember your passions. Remember the things that bring you joy. Remember the changes that you've made in other people's lives. Just like during the holidays, we watch It's a Wonderful Life. Think about the people that you touch and whose lives would be different if you weren't here to touch them. That's a passion. That's my passion. And I hope that it moves through you through 2015. I hope that in those moments you pause and go, wait a minute, this is not serving my passion. Let me get back to the focus of my passion. Let me get excited. Let me share my passion with the world. Think about your passion and move forward through 2015 with that excitement and that level of high. And I tell you, you will be unstoppable. You will reach success like no one has ever seen. So I encourage you to carry that passion with you every single day and move forward. Go, be, do. The element of air. Breath is the common denominator in everything we do. The air that we breathe is what thrusts us forward and moves us into the next thing. Without breath, without air, we cease to breathe. We cease to exist. And that's what we need to do to move forward. So with the element of air, I want you to consider how you breathe. But not just the air that you breathe, but everything that you breathe into your life. Everything that you welcome into your life. Everything that thrusts you in one direction or another. Air is what pushes the birds and all the flying objects. There's a thrust that happens, and it uses that to move forward. Sometimes it can move out of control. We've seen birds kind of look like they're losing their way. Planes fall out of the sky. These things happen. So sometimes our thrust is off. A lot of times it's because our breath is off. Have you ever noticed at times that you might feel a little lightheaded? That you might be yawning a little more than usual, and you're not really tired, but you're yawning all of a sudden? Well, that is usually an indicator that your breath is off. By breathing slowly in and out, it releases stress. It calms your body. It helps you to focus. And the breath that we do when we are stressed, we sometimes hold our breath. I know I'm really good for that. When I get stressed, I will not breathe regularly, meaning I will hold my breath sometimes, and then sometimes my breath is very shallow, meaning that it's really just right here in my chest. It doesn't go all the way down to my belly. So when that happens, you can get a little lightheaded, your thoughts get a little scattered, and you feel a little sluggish. Think about the breath that you take in. With that in mind, I want you to consider a breathing exercise every day. And it's more like a meditation. If you prefer the word prayer, you can do it then as well. But instead of giving you a breathe in for 10 seconds and release for 5 seconds, or the other way around, I want to challenge you to just be conscious of your breath. Pay attention to how you are breathing. Breathing is very simple. It is pretty much automatic, but sometimes we do clutch it. We clench it out of stress or out of thought or whatever it is, but we hinder it. And it is an automatic occurrence. Just like the universe, actually, now that I think about it. So let your breath do what it does. Let it happen naturally. And be conscious of it. So think about it as you're breathing. And we can do it right now just for a little bit. And I just want you to sit. I'm not going to count or anything. So you can try and catch up with my breath or not. But just take a moment and inhale and exhale. Notice what your body does as you're doing that. Take a deep breath in and exhale. If you notice, I'm breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. It's good to take your breath in through your nose and let it out of your mouth. Are you noticing how your body, with each inhale and exhale, your body is slowly relaxing, getting looser and looser? That's the power of breath. So let's do it a little bit longer. Take a breath in and let it go. If it helps, you can close your eyes to get rid of all the distractions around you. I'll do that with you a couple times. Close your eyes and take a breath in and release. Another breath in and release. It's an amazing thing, and what's wonderful about it is you can do it anywhere. I don't recommend you doing it driving, because as you're early on, when you're meditating early on, and when you take the breaths in and out, sometimes you do get a little lightheaded depending upon how you're breathing. So I wouldn't recommend doing this while you're driving. But when you're sitting comfortably at home, even at your desk at work, when you're sitting in a auditorium or at the movies or just anywhere where you're just seated and you're comfortable, just take a moment to recognize and observe your breath and willfully take control of it. That is the power we have over air. Air can thrust us forward, and we have the power to manipulate it in a way that is positive and helps us to continue to push forward. So I encourage you to take a moment and breathe in and breathe out. And let that air move you forward through all of your challenges and throughout your journey through 2015, because air is powerful and you are powerful with it. So make sure that you're using it to your benefit and it's helping you to move forward. So with that, that is your element of air for 2015. I know you're going to go out there and achieve amazing, fantastic things. And with that, I say go, be, do. The element of water. Water is deceiving, because water, when it's calm, is very still and motionless. It has very light ripples and it moves ever so slightly. But water has strength. And when water needs to make a way, water makes a way. Water will tear down cities. Water will just knock through rocks and define areas just from the strength and the power of water. So in 2015, when thinking about the element of water, I want you to attach that to your strength. Our strength is usually hidden. It's usually that calm underneath the surface, just moving slowly. And we know we have strength, but it's not until we find ourselves in a situation that requires us to utilize our strength that we understand just how powerful it is. Your strength comes from many things. It comes from confidence. It comes from experience. It comes from protecting your property or your young or your family. It comes from many areas. So draw from that strength as you grow in 2015. So as you want to think about your business or how you want your family to be, how you want relationships to be, what does that look like? What does strength in those areas look like? I know for me, strength comes with just facing every day, because as I've shared with you in the past, as someone who was diagnosed with anxiety, panic disorder, with depression, I have been challenged on occasion with those anxiety-filled days, and it's challenging at times to just slow down. So my strength comes from knowing that I have taken the steps and I've done the work to get past those. They still show up because it's in me. It's how I'm wired. So since I've learned to live a life without medication, I've learned what my triggers are and what different things do to get me not quite myself. We'll put it nicely that way. What I've done though is I pull on my strength, my knowledge of self, and that is really key. When you know who you are and you own who you are, the level of strength that comes with that is insane. And I gotta tell you, I know my viewers are varied in ages, but I cannot tell you that as you get older, that strength gets stronger, because as you get older, you start to know yourself in ways that you never expected to. And you own who you are every day, a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's something that you can't know until you get older. And those of you who are younger might, oh yeah, you know, I know who I am. Trust me, if you think you know who you are now, you just wait, because you're gonna know so much more later on, and you'll look back and go, oh yeah, I didn't really know. I mean, I knew what I knew then, but I know so much now. And I can tell you, just myself, I was one of those people. Forget you. I know who I am. I don't know. I don't need you to tell me that I don't know who I am. I know who I am. Well, I have learned through the years that, yeah, I knew, kinda. But now that I'm older, I know so much more. And knowing self and living true to who you are with no apologies, that is powerful. That is extremely powerful. Again, that's not giving you license to be rude or to be self-centered or selfish or any of these negative things that society or that the world wants to push you to be, because people will challenge you. But having a sense of self, you know when to just walk away, when it's not even worth it. I have a saying that something's not worth the spit it takes to curse them. There are some things that are just not worth the spit it takes to curse it. So don't waste your time. Don't spend that energy. Don't give up your strength. Don't give it away. Use your strength as power for you. How do you build that strength? Well, with practice. Every single day. Practice a discipline that you want to live into. It takes 28 to 30 days to really create a new habit, and even then it's constant practice after that. So choose where you want to put your strength and your focus on in 2015, and don't let it be frivolous. The other thing I want to challenge you not to do is to, after you say your strength, don't add a negative. For instance, I know that I'm beautiful, but man, if I didn't have these hips. No. Let me tell you something. When you talk to a person who's lost a leg, they'd give anything for whatever kind of hips you got. So forget all that. Forget the judgment. And that's really the key. I guess that should really be the topic of every single section of the elements. Forget judgment completely. No judgment. Look at your strengths. Look at what you do well. Look at areas that you want to grow in. Listen to other people. Ask them, what do you see in me? Because I'll speak for myself. I know so many people have often told me things that I still have a hard time believing myself. I'm getting better at it, and I'm learning to live into how people see me in that positive light. But sometimes it is challenging because it is easier to believe the bad stuff. So take this time, use your strength to power through whatever it is you're trying to do this year, and make sure that you have a clear vision of what you want to do this year, and use your strength for that. And don't waste your strength on things that don't serve you, on negative talk. Walk away. Just want to excuse yourself. Whenever you start to hear the negative voices in your head, just quiet them. Tell them to be quiet. When you hear other people doing the negative talk and the comments, I've never been around so many people lately that will tell me what I'm about to say. I'll look at them and they'll say, "Oh, you saying that this, and this." No, I did not fix my mouth to say that. You know, you must be thinking X, Y, Z. No, that's not what I was thinking. I love how people tell you in the way they talk. It's the way that they speak. They tell you what. Y'all, you must be thinking that girl is crazy. No, I don't like to call people crazy because that's just not nice. So when you hear other people try to tell you who you are, what you think, what you're going to be, what you do, shut it down. And if you hear it, I've done this, I'll say, no, that's not what I was going to say. No, that's not what I was thinking. No, that's not what I would do. Train them on how to speak to you. Train them on how to be around you, because what that also does is it plants the seed of practice for them. And hopefully in time, those negative phrases, those negative zingers will start to show up a lot less and less and less, at least around you. Put your foot down and show your strength on how to be you. Stand strong in this world and rely on the people that are closest to you. Rely on your faith or whatever belief that you believe in, and use that to carry that strength through 2015. I've had a few people tell me recently that 2015 looks so bright, and I think that we do this every year. I always catch myself, and every year I go into the year saying, oh, this is gonna be the year. This is gonna be the year. Whoa, this is gonna be my year. Is it? It can be. But what does that mean exactly? Instead of being so vague and putting your strength and your power on it being the year or your year, focus your energy on something specific. What does your year mean? Does it mean you're gonna win the lottery? Yeah, that's outside of your control. Does it mean you're gonna move? Well, now that's within your control. Does it mean you're gonna make your first million? That's kind of within your control, but you also want to be realistic. You know? Think about the energy that you put out there. Energy is strength. Energy is power. Think about all the strength you have just from your voice. Sharing your story, sharing your voice, sharing your words, your wisdom with people that you come in contact with. Not allowing other people to walk through this world and be negative around you. You don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. So use your strength this year, 2015, to change things. Use your influence, your power, the people you know, your desires, your passions, your goals to move forward. And don't waste that energy or that strength. And when you find that you are, because we're human, we get off track. When you realize that you are, stop it. Catch it, get it back, and refocus. Because you always have the power and the strength to do that. Because you're human. Give yourself a break. It's okay to have an off day, week, month. Hopefully not an off year. That would set you really, really back. So you don't want to do that. But pay attention. And that too is in your strength. Pay attention to what's going on around you and what's happening and what's serving you and what isn't. And take control of it. That is your strength in 2015. Use it and always move forward in the direction that you want to go, not the direction that someone wants to push you. So now, go, be, do. The element of earth is where you ground yourself. Grounding yourself is critical to success because unless you stay grounded, you can just go all over the place. And that gets nothing done. That's insanity. We don't want that. Maybe you're doing that now. Maybe you have moments where you're doing that. Trust me when I tell you, during 2015, there will be little moments of still, woo, but you want to find your ground. We ground ourselves in many ways. Some people ground themselves in their family. Some people ground themselves in their friends. I have two people in my life that keep me very grounded. They are my truth sticks. One is a man and one is a woman, which is helpful to me because I get both views. They are honest with me They are direct with me, and they keep me remembering who I am, what I want to do, and they're amazing energy people. They just are. So find that thing, those people that ground you. The thing that grounds me is the order of my day. I like order. As much as I like I'm a walking oxymoron, seriously, because as much as I want to have freedom and do what I want, when I want, the way I want to do it, I like order. I like to have a system. I like to know what is happening, when it's happening, and I like there to be order. So in my day, even though I do what I want the way I want it, I have a starting point and an end point. This is what I do at the beginning of my day, and this is what I do at the end of my day. My day cannot start unless I have my cup of tea. My day hasn't started until I have a cup of tea. Now, if my day starts so early that I gotta run out the door, then rest assured I will be stopping at Starbucks to get my cup of tea. But my day starts with a cup of tea. Once I've had my cup of tea, my brain suddenly just clicks on. Until that moment, I'm there, but I'm not really there. But once I get my tea, because of that regularity, my body, my system, my brain just knows, stop, focus. It's time to start the day. And at the end of my day, sadly, I do usually end my day with television. I do set it to automatically sleep so I don't wake up to it. But I end my day by stopping my work, having a little television time, and just vegging out and quieting my mind. And that helps me to stay grounded and focused. Sometimes thoughts and ideas enter, and I try to write them down so that I don't keep them in my brain. And that's a key point that I want you to take note of. Keep a notepad and pen with you at all times wherever you go, because as ideas strike you, whether it be ideas for something creative or a task that you need to take care of, whatever it is, someone you need to call, whatever it is, either use your technology, use your phone to jot it down. But I have found that it doesn't leave my brain until I physically write it down. Putting it in my phone doesn't really help me. It might help you, but physically write it down. And that way you have that, it's out of your brain, and you know that you can revisit that list later. Grounding yourself helps you to move forward. And I have an exercise for you with grounding, and that's why grounding is earth, and grounding is our last element in our series of the elements for success in 2015. Your exercise for grounding is to buy a plant and a fish. If you don't care for fish, if you have a pet, then spend a little more time with your pet. But ideally, the idea is to keep the plant and the fish alive for the entire year. And that's how you stay grounded. You stay focused on giving it your love and attention. You care for it. You nurse it when it's sick. You have to, with the fish, you have to clean the bowl and take it out and all of that. I usually get a betta fish. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm starting again this year myself to do the exact same thing. I'm going to get a plant and a fish. And I'm happy to I want you to tune into my channel. Every once in a while, I'll give you updates on how the plant and the fish are doing. And feel free to share that with me as well. But get a plant and a fish. Take care of that plant and fish throughout the year, and let that be your grounding, your lightning rod, as it will, to stay honed in to center. Ground yourself and find those areas in your life where you can just stop and be still. Water is also very grounding for me. When I need to regain my focus and repurpose my life, when I feel that things have kind of gotten off track, I typically go and drive and park at the beach. And I'll just sit and listen to the waves wash over me and just let it remind me of the stillness and how rhythmic life is in general. Life is pretty rhythmic, and you have to stay in tune, in rhythm to it. For some people, it's prayer and meditation. I have my moments where I sit and I meditate and I pray and I listen to spirit, I listen to voice, and I listen to my body as it tells me what is hurting more than usual, what needs to be healed. I listen to my ideas as they come into my mind and what my body does and how it reacts to those ideas and those plans, or what, as I mentioned before, what words I hear and how it lands on me. And I listen to that, and I stay grounded in a way that I can toss it aside when it doesn't serve me. I can absorb it, just like the ground absorbs water to help plants to grow. I absorb the goodness in a message. And even when someone is criticizing you, there is truth. Sometimes it might be a very small pebble of truth, but listen to even the criticism, because there could be some truth in there, and you have to find your strength and courage and power to take it in and go, yeah, there's some truth in that. But grow from it, because that's what grounding does. The earth absorbs the nutrients, it absorbs the water, it absorbs everything, and then it produces life. That's what we need to do in our journey. Take in the information, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ground yourself in such a place that you know who you are. Stand firm in who you are. Stand firm in your belief, in your guide, in your goals, in the things that you want to accomplish, in the things that you've already achieved. Know who you are going forward. Stand firm in that. And then as you continue to grow throughout this year, absorb those nutrients and then continue to grow and exude life. What do I say life is? Look inside for everything. That's what life is. You already possess it. You already own it. Don't let anyone, don't gift it away. Own your power. Own your strength. Own the elements of your life to move forward and take control of 2015, because you can and you will. You've already started. Just keep on moving with that. Now remember your action for your grounding for the earth. You want to get a plant and a fish. Keep them alive throughout the year. Keep me posted on how they're doing. I'm going to keep you posted on how they're doing. But remember who you are. Stay focused. Absorb the nutrients of the life that comes into your world this year. Because there is so much, and I have a feeling that 2015 is going to be an innovative and changing year for a lot of people in a lot of ways. Pay attention. Pay attention to what is happening in your world and move forward with that. Use all the elements. Use all of them. Earth, fire, water, and air. Use all the elements to move forward in your life, and I assure you that you will have success greater than you have ever seen before. Always come back to this video. Always come back to any words of self. Feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm happy to help. I'm with you all the way. I'm Leslie Pogue. This is the elements of 2015, and I'm excited. I'm so excited about the amazing things, the fantaberific things that are going to unfold for all of us this year. Have a phenomenal year, and go, be, do.